Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today, I just wanted to sit down and do a chit chat, get ready with me. That was a tongue twister for some reason, but I'm just going to be talking about life and like things that are going on with me. Not anything really specific. I will be walking through the makeup as well though. So we'll get started. Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Porcelain. And I'm taking this on my Morphe blending sponge or beauty blender. It's not a beauty blender because that's the brand name, but you get what I'm saying. So I hope you guys are all doing well wherever you are and you are feeling blessed and prosperous and motivated. This week has been good. I've been having headaches pretty much every day, so that's been a downer. But I celebrated 10 years in business with my photography, and that was a surreal moment. I was almost emotional the day that it was, the day of my anniversary for it. It's just weird to think about because for those of you who don't know, I'm 27 years old and I've been in business since I was 17. It's just weird to think about that that's something that's been with me for so long, and that I have been so blessed to have been able to do, and that God has provided me work throughout a decade. It's something that I never thought would happen. Like when I started photography, it was more so just the fun of it and getting to be creative, and starting out it was almost how wild can I make this image, how wild can I dress and sell this photo. And then as I've gone on, it's gotten definitely more traditional, and that's something that I want to try to somewhat revisit, my creativity and that wildness that I had with it in the beginning. I definitely want to make more of an effort to get that back, because that's something that really did set me apart when I first started out. Also got a brand new MacBook Pro, which means new Photoshop, because for those of you who don't know, Photoshop, you used to be able to buy the program, and it was yours, like you just one-time payment, that was it. And now Photoshop is you pay for it monthly. Well, on my Mac that I have been working on, I have avoided the update for several years now. Like, you can't update your computer or you'll lose, Photoshop is like you had it. Well, I avoided updating my computer, so I've had the old Photoshop. Well, I get a new computer and I'm just like, okay, it's time to let's let it go. I've gotten my money's worth out of it. Let's update. It's time for a fresh start, new changes, it's time for me to improve and grow. Well, this computer is just different enough. I was working on a 2014 and this is a 2020 model, I think. Just different enough to throw me off, and Photoshop is the same way. It's just enough to be like, there's a learning curve there. So I'm working through that, and once I get it, I'll get it. But when I learned Photoshop the first go around, I got so frustrated that I cried. So Too Faced Born This Way multi-sculpting concealer in the shade Swan. So I'm excited about it though. Like, the computer is so nice, and it's always just nice to have like the new, and it's really exciting, and I'm really hoping that it helps me improve my photography, and we update a little bit and more of a fresh start with this. I'm excited to see the changes in my work. And so far I am on day 5 of doing Thrive, because your girl's got fat. So trusting that out. My mom got it for me and she's doing it as well. We know somebody that has been on it and has had great success with it, and she looks fantastic. So hopefully this will kind of help me drop some pounds, because I don't feel good. I just don't feel good. And for those of you who have known me for a very long time know that I've always struggled with my weight, but there was one time when I dropped 40 pounds and that was just from diet and exercise. But my exercise that works for me is the little rebounders, the little trampolines, like the little mini ones. That helps me so much for dropping weight, but I don't feel like it. You know, like, you ever just get in that like slump where you just like, ideally, like, I want to do it, I want to do it, but I'm just not there yet. And I will eventually. It's just, I go in waves, like, especially like summertime, spring and summer, that's the time that I want to work out. And I typically always do every year, and I make such great improvement. And then it's just like cool weather hits and I'm like, hibernation. So we'll see. Huda Beauty powder in the shade Cupcake. Kylie Cosmetics bronzer in the shade Khaki. But I hope you guys are all doing well and trying new things. I really want you guys to be encouraged to do new things. Just like me sitting down and doing these videos. It's definitely out of my comfort zone for sure. But this is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. And I mean years, probably two to 3 years at least. And to finally be doing it, I feel good about it. Just, and even if this never amounts to anything, I feel good about it, you know? And I think that's what's important, is that we do things that really make us feel good about ourselves and encourage us, even if it seems silly. Doing things we want to do, I think, is very important for our own personal happiness and growth. Kylie Cosmetics blush in the shade Close to Perfect. Jaclyn Hill highlighting palette in the shade Sparks. And I wanted to use this palette because it is, or she recently did a launch, and she's got these highlighters back. So I wanted to use that and talk about the fact that I was able to get 2 of her bronzer and blush duos. So that, I'm excited about that. Like, I'm really excited because this will be my first review style video. So I think they're supposed to be delivered this Thursday. So I'm really excited to do that. That's something that I've wanted to do with my channel for a long time. Well, not a long time, but like envisioning myself doing YouTube. I always like, oh, I'm gonna do reviews and testing out new products and stuff like this, and got almost to the point. This is something to be cautious of. For those of you who are so into beauty YouTube, not allowing yourself to get sucked in to every purchase. Because that was me for a really long time. Just every release from my favorite brands, if they released a whole collection, well, I want the whole collection. Of course. Like, of course I want the whole collection. Like, how could I not? Like, I don't want to miss out. And then you end up getting so much makeup. And that was me. Like, my collection is just massive. And I'll never go through all the product that I have. And it's so wasteful. And you can easily get into debt over makeup, and that is ridiculous to think about. So those of you and people starting new channels, like, don't get so sucked into this. I understand that this could possibly be a career for you in the future, but until that point, be very cautious not to get so sucked into this. And I have been on a low buy for a long time. The Jaclyn Cosmetic blush and bronzer duos, that's the first purchase I have made for cosmetics since June or July of last year. So I'm proud of that. And it feels good to, in a sense, have released that almost addiction, because at one time it was like I was constantly checking Trend Mood 1 and constantly watching my favorite YouTubers, and just everything that they talked about, I want it. And like, I love the brand KKW Beauty. I love it. And she releases at times these huge collections, like 4 different lipsticks, 4 liners to go with it, an eyeshadow palette, blushes. Well, I'm buying all of it. And those products, I'll pick out my favorites that I knew I would like, the tones that I like and everything else, but I'll be stuck with things that I knew going into it that I wouldn't be using. So I am improving and I encourage you guys to be cautious if you are makeup lovers, but this goes with anything in general. Buying stuff there can be a high with shopping, and be very cautious when it comes to that. So that's all I want to say. Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and do my lips. This is the KKW Red 4 lip liner. NARS Power Matte lipstick in the shade Light My Fire. This is an all-time favorite red of mine because it's gorgeous. That orangey red in your face. I love it. But it gets on your teeth really bad. I love that with this lip liner. That's beautiful. That lip liner is kind of, it's a burgundy with a little bit of like more of a berry tone to it. That's really pretty with this. Okay, I'm going to be taking a Revlon gloss in the shade Fatal Apple. That's a fun name. Okay, so if you haven't noticed, I'm just kind of hanging out in my robe. I like a good robe, whether it be satin or fleece. I like a robe. But I was really inspired by the color scheme of this. It's like all my favorite colors. So I was going to be taking my Jaclyn Hill palette. This is the first one. You need this palette because this palette is fantastic. So, which I've done a video since then, but your girl cleaned her brushes. One set of brushes, but still, it's an improvement. And we're all about improving ourselves. And that's an improvement for me. This one looks dirty, but like I said, I've done a video. Okay, I'm going to be taking the shade Pukey on a blending brush. And I'm going to be taking that on my outer corner all into the crease. I want this color to be pretty much all over. So this is, I guess, a week coming up since I've had my dog here with me at the apartment. And he has done so good, and it makes me so happy. He's in my office right now, door closed, letting me film. He's not fussing, and it's just so nice. Like, I love having him here with me. He is just a little ray of sunshine of a dog, and it really has made me feel a lot better. Okay, I had to change the battery in my camera, and also I adjusted the light a little bit because I'm doing this in front of a window and it's about like almost 6 o'clock, so we're kind of losing some light. Hopefully it's not too bright. I feel like it is. Taking the shade Jax, more so focusing that on my outer corner and blending it up. Like I said, if you don't have this palette, which you probably do, this one is a classic. I would highly, highly recommend it because it blends beautifully. So many weddings that I've photographed have had this palette, and it's just so neat to see like something that has turned into such an iconic palette or product in general that everybody has. Taking the shade Jax on the lower lash line. Okay, on a flat shader brush, I'm going to be taking the shade Beam and just laying that all along my eyelid. So I just finished filming my 8th video. This will be my Monday upload, so it will be the makeup and motivation. I'm really excited about doing YouTube, and I feel like my content has improved just since I've been doing it. Aside from the video with the black background, that was a mistake. We all make mistakes. That was a mistake. I regret it. I have contemplated deleting it. I don't know why I said deleting it so weird. But it just doesn't go. Like, I don't like the look of it. The black background was so harsh. My lighting was a little off. Like, it made me look too cool tone. I liked the look, but at the same time, like, it wasn't my best. And, like, I feel like I should have put more work into it with something, like, so bold. And clean makeup brushes would have made a difference as well. But so, it is what it is. Y'all let me know if I should delete that video and we should just move forward and forget about it, or if I should keep it because it is content. I don't know. Same shade, Beam, inner corner. I hate when that happens. Okay, natural hair flat shader brush in the shade Cran Apple. Just want a little pop of kind of a reddish copper color. Or cranberry apple, cran apple, maybe. That's just the same pencil brush that I use under my eyes. I'm just kind of buffing those two shades together. L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Alright guys, this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are having a wonderful day wherever you are, whatever time of day it is, whatever. I hope you choose to make your life absolutely beautiful. I hope and pray that you feel encouraged, that you move forward with a divine direction. And even if your goals and your dreams feel unusual or silly or whatever, I hope that you pursue them. And like I've said before, I've mentioned in a previous video, I feel ridiculous doing this at times, but I feel like I am doing what I'm supposed to do. So what you're supposed to do might not always look like the norm, but follow your calling and your direction. So I will see you guys in my next video. I hope, like I already said that. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video. Do I have a lipstick on my teeth this time? Bye guys.